At 22, Olympic skier Eileen Gu is worth over $20 million. She's juggling brand deals and sports with school, and she urges Gen Z not to wait until they're older to start. At age 22, Eileen Gu is one of the best freestyle skiers in the world, amassing 4 Olympic medals to her name. She's also a student at Stanford University, studying international relations, currently on leave for the 2026 Milan Cortina Olympic Games. But instead of waiting to earn a degree to get her career off the ground, she's dived in headfirst. Gu pulled in $23.1 million last year alone, according to Forbes, making her the 4th highest paid woman in sports, ahead of stars like Naomi Osaka and Caitlin Clark. It's important to show young people that you don't have to wait until you're older. You can do it all now, Gu told Time. At a time when success can feel unreachable for Gen Z, owing to uncertainty brought by AI and the economy, Gu's mantra is straightforward. Age is not a limitation. Start that side hustle sooner rather than later. It's something she learned firsthand. Gu's financial windfalls are largely not from winning competitions and setting world records. It's from her balancing her self-branding and modeling career. She's landed deals with companies like Red Bull, Porsche, and TCL. I'm a full-time student who's really athletic, she said. I can have a conversation with a physicist and stand my ground, and I can also walk a runway show the next day. I think that is pretty revolutionary, especially as a young person, because the whole multi-hyphenate thing often happens in different stages in life. And Gu is just one example of the juggling act many Olympic athletes face, trying to achieve their own version of success. Many athletes have full-time jobs, working as realtors, dentists, and baristas, waiting for them back home. The Gen Z millionaire Olympic athlete started at 3 years old. By her teens, she was covering her own school bills. Gu's drive toward independence began early. She was born in San Francisco and raised by her mother, a first-generation Chinese immigrant, and was out on the slopes by age 3. By the time she was a teenager, Gu was earning enough from brand endorsements to cover her private high school tuition. I was able to pay for my own tuition from my freshman year of high school onwards, Gu said on the Burnouts podcast, co-host by Bill Gates' daughter Phoebe Gates. That was a point of pride for me. She emerged onto the global stage after winning 1 silver and 2 gold medals at the Beijing Olympics in 2022. Gu admitted that she initially equated success with recognition, the idea that achievement validated the work. It meant doing something for a purpose and having that purpose spread beyond myself, she told Vogue Hong Kong. For example, I wanted to win a competition because that was the culmination of all the moments I'd put into it initially, which was something bigger than me. The emotional aftermath of the games forced a rethink. Gu has spoken publicly about struggling with her mental health in the years that followed. At 22, Eileen Gu is worth over $20 million, and she's just getting started. At 22, most people are still figuring out who they are. Some are switching majors. Some are starting their first real job. Some are wondering if they're already behind. Eileen Gu, she's worth over $20 million, balancing Olympic-level skiing, global brand partnerships, and a Stanford education, all at once. But what makes her story powerful isn't the money. It's the mindset. And her message to Gen Z is simple, almost rebellious. Don't wait until you're older to start. The girl who didn't wait. Before the magazine covers. Before the Olympic podium. Before the luxury brand contracts. There was just a 3-year-old girl on skis. Eileen didn't wait for the perfect age. She didn't wait for certainty. She didn't wait to feel ready. She started. And that early start turned into discipline. Discipline turned into skill. Skill turned into medals. Medals turned into opportunity. By 18, she had already won Olympic gold. By 22, she had built a multi-million-dollar brand around her name. But here's the part people miss. She didn't choose between being an athlete and being a student. She didn't choose between sports and business. She chose all of it. The $20 million balance. Eileen Gu's net worth isn't just prize money from competitions. It's endorsements, luxury fashion campaigns, global sports brands, magazine features, public speaking. She's worked with some of the biggest companies in the world, brands that usually sign athletes at the peak of their careers. Yet she's still in school, while training at an elite level, while traveling globally, while managing a personal brand most CEOs would envy. That kind of balance doesn't happen by accident. It happens because she refused to box herself into one identity. She's not just a skier. She's not just a student. She's not just a brand ambassador. She's a multidimensional person who understood something early. You don't have to shrink yourself to fit into one lane. The Gen Z advantage. Eileen Gu represents something bigger than medals. She represents a generation that understands leverage. Gen Z doesn't see careers as straight lines. They see them as ecosystems. Athlete plus entrepreneur. Student plus influencer. Creator plus investor. Older generations were told, pick one thing. Stay in your lane. Gen Z asks, why? Eileen Gu embodies that question. She's competing on snow one day and walking international runways the next. She's studying for exams while negotiating global contracts. And instead of apologizing for doing too much, she embraces it. Don't wait until you're older. One of her most powerful messages is directed at young people who think they need more time before they begin. More time to be confident. More time to gain experience. More time to be taken seriously. Eileen's life contradicts that idea completely. She built credibility through action, not age. Here's what most people misunderstand. Age doesn't create readiness. Action does. If she had waited until she felt old enough to pursue sponsorships, if she had waited until she graduated to build her brand, if she had waited until after college to take skiing seriously, there would be no $20 million story. There would be no Olympic gold. There would only be what if. Pressure at the top. Of course, the glamorous version of her life is what makes headlines. But behind it is pressure most 22-year-olds never face. Public scrutiny, national expectations, social media criticism, corporate performance standards, academic deadlines. She competes not just physically, but mentally. And here's something important. Success at a young age doesn't eliminate doubt. It amplifies it. Every performance matters. Every brand deal matters. Every post matters. The world watches. Yet she continues to show up. That consistency is what separates potential from power. School isn't a backup plan. Some people assume that if you're earning millions at 22, education becomes optional. For Eileen, it didn't. She chose to attend Stanford University, one of the most academically demanding institutions in the world, not because she needed a safety net, but because growth matters. Her decision sends a strong signal. Success doesn't mean you stop learning. In fact, the most successful people double down on it. She trains her body like an elite.